You, John.
Hey, welcome back. It is a unbelievably serious Thursday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco. I want to thank former Florida State Attorney General Pam Bondi for coming down here and kicking off hour two. We usually get into topics, we keep it a little light. There's no lightness today. This stuff is heavy. We're talking about religious freedom. We're talking about Americans detained in another country on trumped-up charges that have been dismissed. And we need help. We need your help, not just the purple people. We need the red people. We need the blue people. We need all the people, because no matter what's dividing us right now, Pelosi, this, that, the other thing, there's one thing we should all agree on. Americans deserve to be in America and not unfairly detained, and we got to fight for them. And leading the fight with Pam Bondi is another one of my favoriteest guests of all time on Liquid Lunch. Martha Boneta joins me. Hi, Martha.
Thank you so much.
You're the best.
The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and Vice President Mike Pence care deeply about protecting Christians all over the world and protecting religious freedom all over the world. And to hear about this horrible situation where an innocent American child, 5 years old, and his mother are being detained in Kuwait is heartbreaking. You know, America first means protecting American citizens all over the world. You know, Americans don't leave American children behind. And I want to thank you so much for dedicating an entire program to telling Ivan and his mother Marcia's story.
You know, Martha, you know, we've been getting to know each other better and better, and we're both for the same things. We're for America, we're for patriotism. I mentioned it in the opening segment with Pam Bondi that, like, Christianity, no matter how the left wants to erase the history books, was one of the foundational tenets of this country. That's why it still says INRI on our bills, because in God they trusted.
Yes.
And now when you see people being detained primarily because of their Christianity, and nobody wants to fight for it except a small band of people, that says we're heading in the wrong direction as a Republican, as a people, doesn't it?
You're absolutely right. And, you know, the statistics that I've heard recently are that approximately 11 Christians a day, their lives are taken because of their faith. And we need to fight and protect religious freedom all over the world. And I just want to thank the President of the United States, the Vice President Mike Pence, for everything that they're doing. You know, the President at the UN made it a point to make sure that a religious freedom was discussed and protecting against religious persecution. And this case is so important. It's so important because we as Americans we fight for our Americans all over the world, and we need to bring this beautiful 5-year-old little boy home with his mom so he can be reunited with his grandmother who's in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia.
So you're leading, you know, one of the leaders on a team that's big. You've got like 100,000 signatures on a petition already, right? But we need more.
That's right, and I know you wanted to make a challenge.
Well, I wanted to, they're at like 100,000 now, plus minus, but somewhere in there. And from this day, because this is the first time you're going to hear about this entire story from soup to nuts. From today, I want to challenge my audience to take this message and pass it on social media and keep spreading it and sharing it and tweeting it and retweeting it and Insta-ing it. Let's get the message out there, and let's try to double it. Let's try to get another 100,000 signatures. You don't have to say Liquid Lunch, this, that, the other thing. Whatever you have today, anything after today, I'm taking all the credit for.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
That's the way we're doing it. I'm taking all the credit. I know we have a former Senate Majority Leader from Mississippi, Trent Lott. Senator Trent Lott's going to be joining us. He's also very, very concerned about this issue. We're trying to get our connection with the good senator. He's a busy man. Although this is a hot topic.
Yes, and in addition to Senator Trent Lott, who's been an incredible advocate for bringing home this beautiful little boy, Ivan, and his mother, Marcia, we're also expecting to have Secretary Nicholson, who will also be joining us.
That's right, former U.S. Ambassador to the Vatican. And you have assembled, you and the team have assembled quite a star-studded list of people who are fighting for Marcia and Ivan. It's not like it's your family or someone knows them. Just the issue struck a bunch of folks that, hey, you can't just You can't just kidnap people because they're Christian and keep them in another country. Are our religious freedoms being eroded right before our eyes, Martha?
You know, this is an issue that no matter who you are, no matter what you believe in, no matter the color of your skin, no matter whether you were a Democrat or a Republican, no matter who you are, every single American watching this program needs to take action. Because as the American people, we live in the greatest nation on earth, where no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you can be anything you want in life. And as Americans, we never leave an American behind. We have to bring Yvonne home with his mom by Thanksgiving.
Here's a recent Newsmax story talking about how the judge had rejected some testimony. This is like one of these, banana republic, kangaroo court type things. They got something up their nose that, hey, this Christian lady, she's making a lot of money, she's a successful person. They allege that she embezzled money. Now the person who made the allegation and created the fake document that supported the allegation, that person has already been recharged and put in jail for being a forger. But yet the person who was convicted due to the forgery is still detained in the country.
That's absolutely right. And not only that, but when she was detained, she was separated from her 5-year-old son, an innocent little American Christian boy, who, by the way, has not been christened yet. They're Orthodox Christians. We need to bring Yvonne home. And I just ask everybody listening to take action. Go to the website, www.freemarsha.com, and join people all over the world, and Americans, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Americans all over the country that are fighting to bring home Yvonne and his mother. And I just am so grateful that we live in a country where we have a president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, who values and wants to fight for and protect Christians around the world. And also we have a vice president who's also dedicated to fighting for religious freedom and fighting against religious persecution all over the world. We are so lucky and so blessed to have this incredible administration leading the charge.
That's right. I mean, and I think this is something where you need to hear the voice of the president, because when he talks, his voice rumbles across the globe. And maybe, these guys in Kuwait, they'll be a little more responsive when Donald J. Trump starts asking for our people back. And, one of my favorite Italians, Mike Pompeo, is Secretary of State. I'm sure he can go over there and say, hey, let's go, give him back. And Mike Pence is probably one of the most faith-based politicians I've ever seen, committed to his Christianity, his faith, and everything else. So, look, we have a dream team.
We do.
In the executive spots here that maybe if they go reach out and say, all right, enough already, give us our people back, maybe we can get Marsha back here.
Absolutely, and keep in mind that Kuwait is an ally to the United States, and the United States saved Kuwait. And so, Kuwait needs to bring back this beautiful American little boy, Yvonne, 5 years old, Christian, wants to be home with his grandmother and his mom in Philadelphia for Thanksgiving. Let's bring together this beautiful family. Millions of Americans all over the country are celebrating Thanksgiving together. Let's make sure we bring Yvonne and his beautiful mother home so they can be with their grandmother for Thanksgiving too.
All right, great. Martha, thank you so much. Stay with me for a few.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. We do have former Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott is going to be with us. We have him on Skype, and we're going to get his views, and Martha's going to ask him a few questions about how we can get more of a voice to bring back Martha and Yvonne from Kuwait. You're watching Liquid Lunch. Back at you right after this.